line. We are zooming from my kitchen into your home or your place of work. We have a lovely hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be talking with Eric Hamburg and Ernst Jasmine about Tacoma Dune. Yep, we have our own Dune. I'm not going to give you much more about that. The new Phoebe House, Lisa, their executive director, will be here to talk about their upcoming fundraiser. And then Tacoma Art Museum and their partnership with Khalil Kinsey and, of course, Umi Wagner of ETC Tacoma is a wonderful partnership that you definitely need to stick around for. The Humane Society will be here with their Pet of the Week. And then with me right now are two very familiar faces. If you have lived in Tacoma for any amount of time, you know these two people. I'm talking about the Tacoma Historical Society, and they are here to talk about, of course, the sister cities. Please join me in welcoming former Mayor Bill Barsma and President of the Tacoma Historical Society. Welcome back, Bill.
Thank you.
And then also with you, I love this woman. I remember when I first moved to Tacoma, she had, I think about 4 years after I lived here, laughing yoga. And I thought to myself, I want to hang out with this person. We're talking about Claire Petrus. She is the board chair for Tacoma Sister Cities Council. Claire, are you still laughing?
I am laughing. I should have been doing more laughter yoga during the pandemic, but it's never too late. So maybe we can start that up again in the spring.
I love that. I mean, we could even do virtual, laughter yoga. I think we need that. So, Bill, tell the viewers again where Tacoma Historical Society's Museum and Research Center is located.
Well, thank you. We have moved from Pacific Avenue to 406 Tacoma Avenue South, right close to Wright Park, with off-street parking. We are open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 3. We have a terrific museum and an exhibit, which we're going to talk about, and our exciting partnership with Sister Cities Council, which is great, which we're going to discuss. We also have a very nice retail store there with every imaginable book about Tacoma's history that history buffs might be interested in. So we welcome you to come by or give us a call, and we'll open up if you've got a group of people that would like to have a special showing. We'll do that as well.
Well, and I have to also tell you, you also have the best collection of the smartest people I've ever met in my life that volunteer, intern, and are employed by this organization. So in addition to that, you instantly feel smarter just hanging around with your people. Claire, the Tacoma Historical Society, as Bill said, is honoring the Tacoma Sister Cities with this exciting exhibit. In fact, we have some photos that we are going to share. But how many sister cities does Tacoma have, and are others being considered?
Thank you, Amanda. This is a wonderful partnership between Sister Cities and the Tacoma Historical Society, and we're really grateful to be doing this exhibition together. Currently, Tacoma has 13 sister cities, and there are two groups of people in Tacoma working hard to create relationships in Italy and in Croatia.
Wow, that is impressive. So, Claire, Italy and Croatia are kind of simmering in the casserole dish and the wood fire over there. Would you remind us again of the other sister cities that we have already engaged with?
Oh my goodness, yes. Our first sister city was Kitakyushu, Japan, and that started in 1959. It took about 20 years for the next sister city to begin, and that was Gunsan, Korea. And soon after that, we started relationships. I'm just going to go around the world for you. If we're in Asia, you are in Kitakyushu, you are in Gunsan, Korea. You can visit Taiwan and Taichung. You can go to China, to Fuzhou, to Davao in the Philippines. And then let's take a little trip. Let's go to Africa. Let's start in the north with Morocco, El Jadida, Morocco, and in the south, George, South Africa. in Europe, and this was one of our earlier sister cities. It was in Ålesund, Norway. Not long after, at the time that the Soviet Union broke up, we started a sister city in Vladivostok, Russia. And then in between, we have 10 years ago, we started a new sister city in Biot, France. And then we're looking at these two new ones in Italy and Croatia, as I mentioned. In Mesoamerica, central part of America, we have two sister cities, Boca del Rio, the mouth of the river in Mexico, not too far from Veracruz, and also Cienfuegos, which is the sister city in Cuba. All of them have amazing birth stories. And so it's been fascinating to just explore how did these sister cities come about and what kinds of things have we done together.
And the world is a pretty small place, isn't it, Claire?
Oh, it is. And we're all connected, truly.
We are. Speaking of connections, Bill, you were mayor when we visited some of those sister cities. Share a highlight for us so that you remember and think, I was so lucky to be there.
There's a lot of highlights, but one that comes to mind, of course, mayor-to-mayor relationships are so important when it comes to sister cities. And I developed a friendship with a former mayor of Taichung in Taiwan, Jason Hu, who did graduate work at Oxford in political economy. And while I was there, he said, Bill, let's go to a class here in political science at a local university. And on our way, he said, let's debate forms of government. You take the city manager and I'll take the strong mayor. And so we loosened our ties, took off our coats, rolled up our sleeves, and had at it for an hour debate between the two systems, forms of government. And the students enjoyed it. Of course, we did it in English, needless to say, not Mandarin, but they enjoyed it. Had a lot of interaction, and it was fun. And we've had this friendship over the years, and other mayors as well. But I think the key really is the mayor-to-mayor relationship. And I know that our current mayor has visited some of our sister cities, the new one in Ukraine that she has visited, and she plans to visit more as well. So it really is important. It's just great.
So, Bill, I would be remiss if I didn't tell us about your tie.
Well, I put this tie on for the occasion because it was given to me by the mayor of our first sister city, Kitakyushu. And I visited there on our 50th anniversary. And it is quite a city, by the way. Very much committed to environmental sustainability. They've cleaned up its bay. We talked about, our shared experiences. And then the mayor also visited Tacoma as well. So I put this on for the occasion.
I love that. They have good taste in ties over there as well. Yes. Claire, there are a number of programs at the museum featuring the sister cities and their culture, history and arts, and fashion. Give us a rundown and tell us about what's planned for the future.
Terrific. Well, thank you. And thank you very much, Bill, for mentioning the one sister city that I forgot to mention, which is Brovary, Ukraine. That sister city has been exceptional in the humanitarian activities that have taken place between Tacoma and Brovary. They did not have an ambulance available to bring the citizens of Brovary into the hospital when needed in the fire department. And our fire department had one that was for sale. The people of Tacoma and the Brovary Committee raised enough funds to take that ambulance to Brovary, and where it's now very, very active and in place. So a great humanitarian project took place here in Tacoma. And that's much of the work that Tacoma Sister Cities has done. It does sports exchanges, it does student exchanges, it does humanitarian activities like the ambulance, but also like many activities that have taken place, particularly in Cienfuegos, with work in old folks' homes, works in theaters, helping out when there are storms or hurricanes or fires that happen in places. Our sister cities committees have just jumped in to be good in helping neighbors, as our sister cities have been to us. When the pandemic hit, our sister city in Fuzhou ran out of PPP, asked us for help. We managed to send some items, some masks to them. And within 4 months, when we needed things in Tacoma, they tripled, quadrupled the number of items that we were able to send to them, which they sent back to us. So that relationship of people caring for other people has just been really important. That's not the question you asked me. You asked me about programs, and I'm excited because of this relationship with Tacoma Historical Society and the fact that our exhibit, which covers the since 1959, over 63 years of relationships that we've had. So the exhibit is available and open for people to see at any time. But we really felt it was important also to highlight and to explore those relationships that we've had in our sister cities. Our opening night, we always do our opening nights with Kitakyushu as our first sister city. And we were able to, our theme of these programs has been, what's the immigrant experience like in Tacoma for people who have come from these areas of the world? So it's been very exciting. Our first night, we had not only cultural program, not only Bill Barsma speaking about the history of the Japanese and Michael Sullivan speaking about the history of the Japanese in Tacoma. Mary Ono talked about her experiences as a young Japanese woman wanting to bridge two cultures. And then we had a display from our local Aikido teachers in Tacoma. So that was fantastic. And I think a lot of young people are interested in Aikido now. So we were glad to have them. Our next program was dealing with Cienfuegos. Cienfuegos was a challenging relationship. The point that people need to know about Sister Cities is that it goes beyond politics. So that even though you may not have a formal official relationship between countries like the United States and Cuba, you can have a sister city relationship. And so we explored that opening of that relationship, what it was like, what it was about. The two programs that are coming up next, November 5th, we invite people to come. We are going to be exploring our European sisters, our sisters in Ålesund, Norway, and then also the friendship cities now in Croatia and Italy. And then following that event on November 22nd, we're thrilled that our former mayor, Marilyn Strickland, will be visiting us from her time in Congress now, and we're going to highlight Korea, also Taiwan and China, and experiences that we've shared with those communities here in Tacoma. There are other programs that are being planned, and we'll have those up on our website soon.
I love that. So Bill, last question. I know that the Tacoma Historical Society has, as Claire said, other programs, exhibits, and events. Give us just a quick 30 seconds on what we should put on our calendar coming up in the next few months.
Sure, check our website, and you'll get a lot of information there. We are planning in the spring for another Destiny dinner in which we're going to honor what we call a miracle of Shalashan, New Shalashan, the 20th anniversary. An incredible success story. Michael Mira, who's a former director, kind of took the lead on that and been working with Michael. And I'm very excited. And our next exhibit that we're planning for the months ahead is the history of Tacoma's LGBTQ community. We've had leaders here that have made a national impact in gay rights. I cite Sergeant Perry Watkins, who took his case all the way to the Supreme Court, and other notables as well. And that is in the planning stages. So check out our website. Also, we have the current Timbertown exhibit. Come on by and see that, along with our Sister Cities exhibit as well. Again, 406 Tacoma Avenue South. We're open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 3. Please come and join us. It's the best exhibits we've ever had. And admission is free. How can you beat that?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you know what? A history lesson for the ages, and it's free. Thank you both so much for being here today and really giving back to our community. Sister Cities is a wonderful program, but it's the two of you and your teams that bring this home and make us realize that we're more alike than we are different. So thank you so much for all that you do and for being here today.
Thank you, Amanda.